the Vampire taking off from the left. The DeHavilland Vampire and the Vampire Preservation Group.
Oh, I love that sound.
See, Vampire doesn't take off like these modern jets, just rotating on the runway and spearing off into the stratosphere. It's more like an old piston-engined aircraft, just gently waiting till it gets enough lift and then lifting easily off the runway. That sound comes from the magnificent old DeHavilland Goblin engine, about 3,500 pounds of thrust. It's about half or a third of what you get in a Hawk these days, which is the current advanced trainer. But there's a Goblin engine on show in the museum, so if you wanted to see one close to, you can see what that looks like. It's a pretty strange bit of kit. It's basically just a bit of a development of Frank Whittle's original jet engine. Giving us a nice plan view of the rather strange shape of the Vampire. The reason for that layout was that this was Britain's second operational jet. The Meteor was the first. They didn't know much about how to make jet engines work. And the early Vampires were made of wood, so there was a danger of the whole thing catching on fire with the jet exhaust. So they wanted to keep the jet pipe short, also prevent loss of efficiency. So they had the engine in the fuselage there and the tailplane on those booms sticking out at the back. In 1943, the first Vampire flew as the DH-100 with the Halford H1 engine, designed by Frank Halford, DeHavilland's chief engine designer. In those days, aircraft companies used to build their own engines. DeHavilland, of course, had a great history of that, especially before the war with things like the Gypsy Queen engine. But this is a two-seat trainer version of the Vampire in training colours. It's the T.11. T11 version first flew in 1950. 767s and one XL, which is another airline that went up. Wheels down, and that's his final pass because he's waving to us as he goes by. So the next time we see him, he'll come round for his landing.
I love the sound of the old turbo jets.
WZ507 built at DeHavilland at Christchurch in 1950.